Hello there, it's me, earthmanbrick, and we're back with another box set. This time we've got the Frostgrave, the Gnolls, which is a creature from what I believe is Dungeons and Dragons. Yes, I think it was Dungeons and Dragons that first created the Gnolls. And yeah, there's some pictures of them there. We've got some lore. At the height of blah blah blah, yes, Gnolls happened. So you get 20 of them. They're multi-part kits. They do come on these crappy tiny little oval bases that the feet are permanently wedged onto. Let me just pop this here. And oh my goodness. Yep, it's not going to sit right. So I'll just... Here's a sprue here. For all the bits and bobs. So you can kind of see it all there. So you get the 5 bodies per sprue. You get 10 heads. And a whole myriad of different bow, crossbow, swords, axes, 2 shields. Yes, a whole litany of arms that you can place around. 2 of the bodies of which have separate torsos, so you can have them ever so slightly posed differently. But yes, you can see here's the crappy oval bases that they come on. And the reason I say they're crappy is because what's the hell's the point in them? Because you get round bases in the box as well. I don't have them on me. I think I since took them out and removed them, but anyway, it does come with the round bases. Trust me on that. I think it does tell you at the bottom. No, it doesn't. It doesn't tell you, but it definitely does come with them. That's for sure. And yeah, pretty nice little sprue. So what I've done is I've gone and spray painted it. Here it is all here. So I've just given it a basic zenithal highlight. And it's probably easier if I show it this way. So if I take the camera out and just kind of pan across it here, you can see we've got the spear arms, sword, all sorts. There's the heads. And they are wonderfully 3D sculpted. All of these. You can get a lot of variation. And what is essentially the same type of head, more or less. And look at that. Bloody cat hair. Cat hair with spray paint on it. It's like the worst. It's going to show up. No issues. So yeah, that's it all there. And yes, these heads do come on a very weird way. And that's because these necks stick out so that they're more naturally hunched. Which is a cool design, and I think it works. So, I have since assembled 5 of them, and this is all what's left on the sprue, so just to give you a kind of a general gauge as to what you can do with the rest of the bits if you ever were so inclined. And yes, I did start painting them on the sprue, and then I realized that my paint job was absolutely terrible. So, And that's not because I painted them on the sprue, it was just because I'm terrible at painting. So I tried to do a different kind of technique. So here they all are here. Just delicately slop this crap around. I mean, wonderfully painted miniatures. There we go. So these bases, these are just cardboard ones that I've made. And yes, that's the cracked earth. I'll put a link below on how I make these sort of cracked earth bases. And yes, I went for a different type of a paint scheme here. It's a high contrast, so wherever it's dark, I've just used jet black to really balance out the contrast. To make up for my lack of actual painting skill. And I think that's worked a treat. It's given them a more kind of cartoony aesthetic. Now, it's not actually cell shading when you do it this way, but it's relatively close. The difference being that when you paint cell shading, what you would do is you would paint black on all the edges, all the outer edges. And you typically can only really do that with things like mechs and robots. Because it's not going to work on a miniature like this, that's for sure. But this is what you can effectively do to get that comic book style aesthetic. And here's another one here. Now, I did try to do the... I forget what it's called, non-metallic metal, I think is the technique. I've clearly not mastered it. I'm very, very unskilled in that department, but yeah, I figured I'd give it a go, and I failed. But the rest of the miniature looks alright. I think I did an okay job at hiding what was a horrendously bad paint scheme that I did on it before. This guy's, I think he's supposed to have an eye patch or something, I don't know. I think I screwed it up, but yes, I've managed to hide all the bad bits. Yeah, he looks good enough. Here's an archer. Oops. Drop him about a bit. I've actually got a little poppy that's dancing between my feet at the moment, which isn't ideal when you've got one hand holding a camera and the other spinning around a miniature that's constantly going in and out of focus because your camera is a bit crap. But yeah, you can just see there where it's gone completely jet black, where one color meets another, all in between. And yes, I've gone extremely black underneath, just to really emphasize the contrast. Oh my goodness, Poppy! What the heck are you doing? Poppy! What are you doing? You're meant to be part of the show, not just dancing around willy-nilly. Silly cat. Anyway. Well, here she is. Defying expectations as always. You're a good girl. Aww. My lovely Poppy cat. Yes, the rest of the stream is all about you now, apparently. Oh, and that's some other projects there. You coming down on my lap? Are you gonna run away? She's deciding. She's unsettled yet. If I pop my legs together, you're gonna come down? No. Okay. You're chipper just now, aren't you? Yeah, cute little noises she makes. This is why I end up slowing down and not getting enough projects done, is because she'll just jump up on my lap from bloody nowhere or up on my shoulders. You have a habit of doing that, don't you, Pops? Yes. And then it's a bloody pain to ever try and get picking up the brush and do anything else again, because she'll just squawk at me until I give her undivided attention. Isn't that right? Yes. Big lummox. No, I love her really. So yes, that's the Frostgrave Gnolls. Let me try and bunch them together. And I think this is the first one I did, and it turned out alright. Giving him a sort of kind of orange colour scheme, which really complements the brown base and the brown colours. It just practically makes them invisible. So yes, I think with the green tends to work a bit better. Yes, I'm quite happy with how these have turned out. And do I recommend this set? Well, it's good, but it's not great because of those bloody oval bases. I had to chop them off, and I'm not sure if it'll show up here, but some of them look like they're standing on little platforms and things. I hold this up like this. You can kind of see the fruits are almost raised off the surface there. Not entirely noticeable if until I point these things out. But yes, it was annoying chopping off those bases. It's just an extra unnecessary task that you have to do. Now the Stargrave sets, they don't do that. It's only the Frostgrave ones. And more recently I discovered with some of the fantasy Warcradle Scenics ones. No, not Warcradle Scenics, what am I talking about? What's the other company called? Wargames Atlantic. With their sets, their fantasy ones, they also come on oval bases. Why? Why do you do this? It's infuriating. But oh well. They've done it now and they can't undo it. But yes, I think it's a good set. The models are pretty nicely detailed and well worth a bang for your buck. What do you say though, Poppy? Hmm? Oh. Yes. Any last words for me, Poppy? Anything you want to say to the viewers? Aside from purr, purr, purr? Hmm? Anyway, that's all I bloody got for you, so thanks again for watching, and bye.